Let's get started. Welcome, Pisces. This is your reading for the month of January. Let's see what's coming through from your romance angels. I got true love sticking out, but oh yeah, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture that you're feeling, that you're being called to. I feel like there's something so special about the two of you. It's just you. You're lost in this beautiful space together. Oh, interesting. Okay, I went to get that one, but then I pulled a different one. So we have love yourself first, and this is your self-respect makes you romantically attractive. So by focusing on yourself and still setting those boundaries and still doing your thing, you are still able to have this truly wonderful, like this is kind of always the balance, right? The work-life marriage, like work-life partnership, whatever your dynamic is, and children, family, like all the different hats you have to wear, but it's also important for you to still maintain yourself so that you don't lose yourself, right? And not to the music, but in the relationship. So true love, this is a romance of a lifetime. So there's absolutely just constantly coming through here. So express your love lovingly. Learn how to also make it fit in with what you are doing and how you are, and then also giving that. So keep an open mind, because your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So you could be dealing, like I said, cultural differences, spiritual differences. However this is, again, they do have to align with you. So there could just be like, I never date friends, or I never date whatever, like whatever you usually say. There could be something on the other side of that where ironically you could have been putting a blockage at finding somebody, right? So I don't normally like that, but damn, they look good today. Like, I don't normally like someone who wears a suit. I don't normally like someone in a biker jacket. Whatever it is, whatever love looks like for you, but it's looking a little different now. Oh my gosh, okay, I gotta move stuff, sorry. Don't want to keep making noise because I know it's loud. So we have the Journey into Love message from my Oracle deck. Let's see what's coming through to help clarify this dynamic and situation. Oh my goodness. I can see clearly now. Like I said, something that you haven't seen before. Something that wasn't there before. Beauty and the Beast coming through. We got a couple different things happening. I also see Tempted to Touch. So Jamaica could be specific for you guys, or you know, whether it's Jamaican or however this is resonating, just coming in. But we also could be the song too. Tempted to Touch could be a song that you guys have something with. And these are actually both songs, ironically. I can see clearly now, and the rain is gone, and also Tempted to Touch. So these could be specific things that mean something. The way you smell, so perhaps your scent, culture, whatever this is, has been, there's something, whether this is a flower of yours, hydrangeas could be significant, but it can also be lilacs too. So you guys could be like, there's something about you that truly does stand out. Like, you know, the smell of your home, the smell of your car, but we're talking about perfume or cologne, but it, you know, it means different things to different people. But we also have classic masterpiece. There's something about you that is just so like unique. And I think that that's sometimes like where you see somebody and you're just like, man, that person's like really put together. There's something like really beautiful about this. And we also have Still Stings. So there could be something or an association, because Tempted to Touch here can also talk about a past situation, can also talk about a temptation, can also talk about something that perhaps you are still healing from. So of course it's tempting because you want to get lured back into that depth, right? Whatever this is, but you're seeing clearly now, you're seeing what it is, you're seeing what's triggering you, you're loving yourself, you see how like, oh, I'm getting a little too consumed by this relationship, I'm falling away from my things and my hobbies and whatever it is. So classic masterpiece is also like, this person is so significant, so special to you. Keeping an open mind. You might be tempted to go back to your old ways or tempted to go into different directions, but then you're also kind of like, but this is really nice and different and I want to try this. Okay, so allowing yourself to experience that, putting out this intention, putting out these messages, could perhaps even be meeting someone while you're traveling. Maybe, you know, normally you don't do that, and then all of a sudden you meet somebody and you're just like, Like, I was on a vacation with one of my best friends, and she met someone that she ended up dating for years from that trip, and they maintained that. So, you know, they both were traveling from different places to this destination, and then they maintained their relationship and just traveled after that to other places. It was really sweet, you know, for a long time, as long as things were working. Now we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Three of Swords. So closing out some cycles, because there's still some stuff, like now you're seeing things clearly, which means you can see the wounds, which means you can see and find the healing. And this is what's helping you release a lot of that past situation, break free from whatever this dynamic was that was causing this heartbreak. But I know sometimes it's also really hard to choose ourselves, because you love something so much, you have to let it go, or you have to not let it consume you. So you have to create those boundaries, right? And like as kids, sometimes we didn't have a proper parenting that taught us that. So like you're now also being forced to teach yourself that, or you're experiencing this. So part of the Tempted to Touch is also you teaching yourself your own boundaries, or places that you have now told yourself, and committing to what it is that you have promised. That's why it's loving yourself first. So for some of you too, it could be marriage. So maybe this is respecting the vows, respecting whatever this side is. Now, for others of you too, it's about justice. So it's about fairness. It's also about awareness. So there is karma. Okay, this could be like healing, and there could be some kind of temptations now that you're experiencing because you staying in your truth, you staying in your power, getting the clarity, maybe because you were going through so much emotions, you weren't able to see things fairly or from an open stance. So I feel like this is bringing in a lot, because the Wheel of Fortune for us, it turns always, right? So there's times that you're up and there's times that you're down, and maybe there has been a very big down period. So the plus side is, if you've been going through a lot of stuff, that's that cycle. It's a cycle. We go highs and lows. So when you're having a good season, enjoy the good season and save for the bad season. And now we're going, you know, maybe you're coming out of that painful cycle, and that's what's leading to this beautiful energy. So keeping this open mind, putting yourself out there, trying something different, seeing things from a different perspective. And again, it could actually be an actual trip or vacation, and you see somebody and they're just so special, and maybe you see somebody that you would normally go for, but you're still a little hurting, right? So there is a lot that you are also finding, because yeah, temptation right through with him there. So there's a lot of stuff. For some of you, it could be a temptation outside of marriage, or maybe you went through that. Maybe that was part of the deception and the heartbreak here for some reason, because with the Tempted to Touch, there could be something that's tempting you to step outside of a commitment, or step outside of whatever, or your person. So you might also be dealing with someone who's married, and that's a tough place. So it's about loving yourself and respecting yourself, not to be another person for somebody. So if you want me, you get me only when you're with me, not, you know, again, I don't judge people, but I don't believe in that, and I don't agree with that, and having it ruin my life. I hate people that ruin others with it too. So I just also know that I'm grateful to be in this position. So some of you might also be recently single, or focusing on your independence, which is also why it's saying to focus on yourself, loving yourself through this process, giving yourself your needs, and tending to whatever it is going to be so powerful. And again, everyone's allowed to think and feel how they do, but you also have to establish yourself to be able to take care of you. And maybe that was something that you had to learn before, that you know, you were dependent or stuck or however, and now you've taken back your heart, you're healing your heart, you're going through so much, and at the same time, now that you see this temptation, it hurts enough that you're just like, so it's a bit of a trigger, right? It's a bit of a trigger for certain, but then you're finding this Aries energy, which is Emperor energy, which is all the kings, which is the ultimate divine masculine or divine feminine energy. But this is someone who encompasses everything you want, someone who takes action, someone who takes charge, and maybe in a really good way, but someone who has what to back it with, okay? Someone who is able to be there, to be stable, to have this big vision. This is someone who sees the future of you guys, who sees where things can also be going. So again, Eagle is here also. We have a Ram, so it could be Aries energy. Capricorn's also coming through for some reason, because we have a lot of that temptation. So for some of you, this person's not afraid to go the distance for what they want. And I think you're so used to people who are like, only working within a radius, and I know you know what I mean. This isn't about searching your date, like putting the search range bigger, but this is someone that will go the distance. This is someone that will meet you wherever you are. This is someone who will go get you if it's a long drive. Like, whatever is going on, this person is all in. This person, like Cupid's arrow here too, but this person will literally, like, babe, I'm late, babe, I'm this, babe, I'm that, honey, how are you, good morning, are you okay, I know you had a tough day, I sent you lunch. Was the cute things, which I know sounds so great and such a fantasy, but you can have that. You deserve that. And at the same time, keeping this open mind is also going to help you learn that, like, you can still be a boss, still have your business, still have their business, and still be able to get the things that are going to keep this wheel spinning and keep this section going. So by closing out that cycle with someone else who was causing those heartbreaks, or closing out those situations that you're recognizing that didn't belong for your life or with you, or doesn't match your style, now you're going to find someone who is like-minded, who is like-hearted, and who also is willing to go the distance for you, because you've been driving cross country for people who wouldn't even drive across the street for you. And it hurts. It hurts, because when you need them, they don't answer. You get out of bed in the middle of the night to go help everybody, but when you needed them, they couldn't even text you back, and they didn't even ask you. They were just talking about their stuff. Just saying. Ouch. But it's true. So now you're finding someone who has shown that to you, and it's okay for you to express your love. It's okay for you to see things clearly. It's okay for you to understand what that means and what that looks like. And sometimes you need those little Mickey Mouse things to take you to Disneyland, right? Like, that's part of it. So breaking free from this cycle, fears, anxiety, stress. Some of you might have some because of children, or perhaps that's part of what's keeping you stuck. But this can also just mean that you're stuck with the basic gestures. You're stuck with just dealing with people who give you the bare minimum. Like, be impressed when they do stuff, but be impressed when they do more than the minimum. And you're so used to being impressed by the minimum because so many don't even do the basics. And this is just dating. This is why I struggled personally too, and why I also waited 8 years before I started dating again. I waited a really long time because of the heartbreak I went through, and I also know that it didn't work 100%, because I also feel that you learn things in the next relationship because you're still healing from the past one, but some of the healing can only happen in the next one when you're vulnerable enough to heal it with this person. Now, I think because we've become so sensitive or have such expectations about things, we fear that if we say something, we'll scare them away. I hope you scare away every single person that's wrong for you. Why are you so scared to lose the people who don't belong in your life? I would rather be honest and say what I want and need, and everyone walk away that doesn't want the same thing, so I can look at the people who do, and I can put my time and energy with the people who do, as if you should too. So stop taking these little offers, these little cutesy things. And I'm not trying to, men, ladies, whoever, like, I love that effort. I appreciate that effort, and I respect that, because for some people that's all they have. And I hope they do. And I'm not saying they have to spend money on you. This pentacle can be time. This pentacle is love. Love isn't just money, isn't just things. This can also be spending and buying and giving, but it's also talking about, like, if they're giving you a fraction, right? It's like the two guys. One guy has $20 in his pocket and gives you the full 20. There's a guy who has $100 in his pocket and gives you only 20. Like, he's only giving you a small percent. And I'm not saying he has to give you money. I'm just using it as a value, okay? There's someone who gives you everything they have because they want you to have what they have, versus someone who's just giving you a little bit, and then that other fractions of time are other places. Now, from a business standpoint, you could be dealing with someone who has that kind of lifestyle, but I still want 100% of the time that you do give to me. Okay, so this is about you knowing your power, being in that Empress energy, still running your business, still making time for the people you care about. Like, even celebrities still have a way of staying connected and making things work because they put in the work. So this is someone who is going to go the distance for you, not someone who is just going to show up so that they can get what they want. Okay? Again, breaking free from this. Also, because you're loving yourself through this too, like you're giving yourself what you need. And you're also not expecting to get that from someone else. And that was a big part of this independence. That was a big part that you had to learn. And this was a huge lesson, whether this was in the past or this was what you went